I'm so glad y'all joined us today. My name is Andrew Dunn, and I'm the Vice President of Financial Products here at Levelset. Levelset has been passionate about helping small contractors for almost a decade. One thing we know well is how small and growing contractors struggle with cash. You have slow paying general contractors or owners. Then you have to pay your crew each week, and you owe material suppliers money. There's a lot of bills to pay. And as a small contractor, the deck is really stacked against you. We want to level the playing field. And today we're going to talk about our materials financing program that we launched to give contractors access to the cash they need to grow their business and take control of their finances. And as some of you may know, Levelset was acquired by Procore at the end of last year. And Procore has had a long relationship with the Minority Contractors Association. And when we joined forces with Procore, our friends at Procore couldn't wait to introduce us to you all to roll this program out to you. So we're very excited. So now I'm going to kick it back to Kara and Rane, who both helped us launch this program and have helped lots of subcontractors with financial flexibility. So thank you all for joining today.
Thank you so much, Andrew. So happy to see you. Thank you so much for the introduction. We're absolutely thrilled to be here, as he said. So really excited to talk to you all about leveling the playing field with materials financing. And I see Alan's coming back. I was about to say, where'd my friend go? Okay, wonderful. So we have Alan here. Again, we are a very flexible bunch. There are Wi-Fi issues, there are all sorts of things, and we're just happy to be here. So thank you for joining us and being here with us. So, all right. So Alan and Rane, the question that
Yes.
I have burning in my soul is, why is it so difficult to achieve positive cash flow in the construction industry? Please explain.
Yep. Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody for being here. I just want to take the time to say thank you. We're happy to have you here, and we're happy to be here to present for you and then answer any questions that you possibly have. But yeah, I mean, positive cash flow, the odds are kind of stacked against you in a lot of ways. It's to develop positive cash flow in any business is going to be difficult, and especially in this construction field where it seems like constantly things are just always not in your favor, and you're just trying your best every step of the way to keep your best foot forward and going on the right path. And it seems like every day there's obstacles that you have to jump through and things that come up that get in the way of that. You have your payroll, you have your labor costs, you have your material costs, which is something that we're going to talk a little bit more on today. But you have so many costs that are out there and that are expected of you, and oftentimes you're not getting paid for 90 to 100 days on these jobs that you're working, and you're floating that cash between that time frame. And that's what we want to do, and that's what we want to be here to help with as well. So Alan, I don't know if you have any other things you want to add into that.
No, that sounds perfect. I mean, the whole program and everything that we do is out to help customers get paid, help customers do what they need to do. And we're not like banks. We don't work that way. We look at the project, the customer, we look at the entire actual bird's eye view of everything so that we can do everything possible to say yes. And that's what we pride ourselves in. We're going to do everything possible to make things happen for you.
Yeah, and I think it might be a good idea to give some really good, but maybe high level comparisons of some of the other ways that this industry can achieve access to cash, whether it be, bank loans or personal credit cards or some of these other things. And how does that differ from something like materials financing?
And actually, I see Crystal Young has her hand raised. So did she have a question?
Yeah, if anybody has questions, if we could put those into the chat, that would be absolutely amazing. Just a little bit easier for us to keep track of them. But yes, please bring your questions on. We would love them.
Yeah. And to answer your question, Kara, while we're waiting on Crystal's question as well, specifically other options that are out there. Yeah, you have the banks that you can go to work with. However, I think we're all familiar that it's not the easiest thing in the world to go and get a loan from the bank and to get them to finance not only your business, but your projects as well. Oftentimes they're looking for, 2+ years in business, or a certain profitability level before they're even actually going to take a look, or they're going to dive into your books as well and really dive in to find out what all is going on. And sometimes it's hard to get those books together on the time frame that the bank needs to get what you want done. And then oftentimes their time limits exceed the time frame that you need for your projects and the cash flow concerns that you have going on. So banks are out there, though. Banks are there to theoretically help as well. There's other avenues that, and I know y'all are all familiar, factoring and things like that. Factoring, they're going to be looking at your invoices and they're going to be paying you out based on those options or based on the invoices that you have out there. But usually they're going to want the ability to take a look at your whole book or a good portion of your book and start paying out invoices on all of that, as opposed to just project to project basis. And that's one thing that really differentiates us from some of those other options. We truly look at all of your needs on a project to project basis, and we just want to help. We just want to be there to help, and we want to get you through that stage of your life and that stage of your business, and get you to a better spot where you're more in control of what you're doing every single day. And we want to provide that financial success. Alan, I don't know if you have anything else.
I do, only in the fact that I don't know about you. I don't like people to get into my business, and I don't want to feel like going to the dentist is a better, more fun activity than going to my bank or going to a factoring company. And every time I've dealt with anyone in those issues, suddenly they become in control. Once I sign the dotted line, they're in control of everything. They get to ask you all the personal questions, and they get to ask you, and control exactly how you get paid the money that you're asking for. And that's not what we're about. We want to give you the control back. So if you want to see the difference in all of these things, what material financing does for you is it puts you back in control. Definitely we have parameters. We set it, we're not a one size fits all situation. We want to give you the ability to make some good, hard decisions that works best for you and your company. You have $100,000 line of credit with your supplier. That's fantastic. Why not double that and let us help you pay for those materials? That's what material financing can do for you. It puts you back in the driver's seat. You get to control your cash flow. The bank doesn't tell you how to do that. The factoring company doesn't come in, we don't come in and sweep your bank account. Everything is very transparent, and we communicate, and communicate is the way we win every time.
Yeah, I feel like that's a really great opportunity to bring in some of the panelists who we were going to have here today, Alberto and Elizabeth from Polanco, and the success that they've seen here with us. Alan, I know you have a really great relationship with them. Sorry to put you on the spot with this too, but could you talk a little bit more about like their journey with us and the success that they've been able to see from that?
Yeah, Polanco Business Solutions basically does fabrication work in cabinetry, and they take a raw material such as lumber or anything else and fixtures and turn it into a finished project and deliver it to the site. The problem that they were running into GCs that they were having to be the bank for the GC when it should be the other way around. It shouldn't be all their money, in the game. The GCs had no skin in the game, and Polanco was having to front everything. So when Alberto came to us and wanted to talk to us about what they did, we decided, we were going to step out with them, cater this to their specific business so that we could make it work for them. And then we tried 1 or 2 projects together, and it started flowing very well. We bought the materials. We worked out how the delivery was going to be made of those materials. They fabricated the materials, and then they got it on the job site, and we developed a flow. And now they're one of our largest customers, greater than nearly 20 projects with us. And it's been a very successful ride. Plus, Alberto tells us time and time again how much his business has grown and taken off. It's also opened doors for him to work with other very mainstream GCs, and now banks are knocking on his door wanting to see if they can give him financing. And he continues to come back to us because we continue to cater to his projects. And so it's been a great situation, a great customer for us, a good situation for him, and it's really taken off. And he is one of the big fabricators of that type of office material in Southern Florida. And and he's doubling and tripling his profits in a short order of time.
And tripling, maybe even underselling it going into this year for him as well. So yeah, and it's 26 projects to be exact at this point in time. That's how many we've done with Alberto. But I really love that you focused on relationship and catering to the business, because that's I feel like that's our differentiator here. That's what we do best, and that's what I believe we'll continue to do best going forward as we work with more and more clients and have the ability to work with your businesses as well. We literally build an approach that's going to work best for you and best for our relationship and best for your projects on an individual basis. And we'll work with you every single step of the way. We pride ourselves on being authentic and being genuine and honestly trying to help you take those next steps for your business. And then whatever we can do to make that happen, that's what we want to do. We have endless conversations. Alan and I had one this morning with a client where we wanted to have that next project for them be the right project. And we, fortunately with our data, we're able to see whether projects are safe for you to even take and safe for you to take that next step with. If you should be bidding on this next project that could come along, like we're able to kind of give you some insights there as well, and to help with that perspective, and maybe even help you make a decision for your business that to protect it on for the long term as well. But we want to see you grow, and we want to protect that business, and we take a personal stake in that. We really invest in you, and that's this relationship aspect is what it's all about for us.
That's right, and it is very much a partnership, right? There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that I think is truly amazing. A lot of which is between yourself and with Alan, and even speaking to the supplier, because that's correct, right? We take that on, and we are the ones that talk to the supplier and work out all of the details. So in that, not only are we helping free up cash flow, we're also helping free up time, valuable time that you have to be with your family or be on the job site or doing these things that that you need to do. We're a partnership in more ways than one. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, and even to push that one a little further, we those relationships with your suppliers, we're just further solidifying those. We want to help you to continue to build those relationships with your local suppliers, the people that you want to use on a regular basis, the people that you've used for 5, 10, 20 years. We want you to still be able to go back to them and work with them, but also help them because you're paying them on day one. And that's going to help continue to build your relationship with them, and also take out some of the headache that relationship can come with as well from both perspectives. Y'all don't have to worry about that finance part of the equation anymore. It's just going to be taken care of for you at that point, and y'all can just really focus on building the best relationship possible, which also another low-key benefit for you all as well is that you're getting preferred delivery at that point because you're a cash buyer now. They're going to be getting you your materials faster. You may even get discounts, likely will get discounts by being a cash buyer as well.
That was my next question.
See, we're simpatico right here. So we, but those are the two things. Like you're getting better, I guess, relationships and business with by utilizing that and taking advantage of it. You're going to be paying less money because you're going to be getting those discounts on the front end. You're going to be able to get your job done faster because you're getting the preferred delivery, which is enabling you to take on more jobs as well. And that's more money in your pocket at the end of the day.
Plus, it's great to be catered to.
Yeah.
And when you're the one that comes to the dance with all the money, and you're paying for it the very first day, like Rane had said, that makes you to be able to ask those, hey, I know I'm not set for delivery till Thursday, but why don't you try to get that to me on Wednesday? Because I paid you up front. Being able to say those things and have that certainty and assertiveness in your voice because you know it's been taken care of, because you know that your partner has already paid the bill, that's a pretty nice place to be.
Yeah.
And your GCs are going to love you. your materials are going to be on time and on schedule, and you're going to be able to do your work probably even ahead of schedule a lot of times, and they're going to fall in love with that. And it's a cohesive, like, amazing process all the way across the board, and it's been amazing to see, genuinely.
Yeah, absolutely. So, gentlemen, this all sounds awesome, right? This sounds well and good. Why don't we talk a little bit about some of the nitty-gritty that comes along with financing? Because as Alan said, there are things that we put into place for us as well, but this is a partnership. We do work together. And can we kind of walk through, we have 10 minutes left just for everybody that's here. So if you do have questions, get those into the chat. We'll have an opportunity to answer those in a couple of minutes. But why don't we talk through some of the things that come along with materials financing, and how we can potentially teach everyone here to pass off some of that onto their customers and build it into their pricing. So we can kind of start at the top, work all the way down. That would be a dream.
Yeah. So just a quick, 30-second to a minute rundown of like how the process works. We will work with any supplier. Just to kind of build upon that, we don't want to fracture the relationships that you have in place. We want to just continue to further those. So we will work with any supplier and get them paid up on the time frame that y'all need for your job. You'll be able to apply in seconds, and even in partnership with USMCA, we have built an even easier platform to be able to just go in through a co-branded process and a co-branded landing page that you'll be able to access the website and then be able to apply through that link that is on there as well. I believe that's going out to them after this. Is that correct, Kara? Okay. So yeah, apply in seconds. That is screaming at you because it's going to be in your email ready to go right after this. So, and then get approved. We say within 48 hours. Oftentimes we're able to work those quicker, but we like to say 48 hours just to, get all the projects and all the types of jobs that we could possibly see into the equation. And then from there, we do 120-day terms. So oftentimes your suppliers are giving you probably 30-day terms, if you're even getting that. Some of you may be fortunate enough to where you're getting longer terms. And if that's the case, that's amazing. And we don't want to disrupt that world for you. We're here to just help. So the terms that aren't working for you and the times that you need to maybe go outside of those normal scopes, those are the opportunities to bring us in and help, because we are giving you the 120-day payment terms to work with us. So.
And I noticed that we had a question from Ernest Edwards. Great question, actually. Most GCs are pay when paid. And this actually makes the benefit of what material financing is all about. Our program is paid when paid up to 120 days, like Rane just said. So what that does is for your GCs that string you along to the 60 to the 90 days, this gives you that extra buffer of an additional 30 days. And if it were to go past 120 days, we hope that does not happen. We will have conversations with you on what we can do to get that situation going. Finance charges would still apply, but we will work with you one-on-one to try to secure that and to make sure that you reach and comply with your contract with us at the 120th day, or at least close to it. But, like I said, it's a partnership where communication is the key. The best thing that we have going is you can pick up a phone, and if you want to talk to Rane's available. If you want to talk to a salesperson, they're available. Even Kara would be available, and she'll direct you to the right person if she can't answer the question. The teamwork that we have in the material finance area is unbelievable. Every time you pick up a phone to talk to somebody, you're talking to somebody that's knowledgeable and can get you to the right person. And we take pride in that. And that's a part of being a partnership.
Yeah. And I'll also add that, if you were to go past the 120 days, that's a conversation that's not going to happen on day 119. There are a lot of conversations that happen before that, because Alan, you and team and Rane are in continuous communication, checking in, seeing how the job's going. I mean, I've even heard like friendship, personal phone calls, because we're so ingrained in this. And I know, like, again, our wonderful Alberto that wanted to be here so badly today. You guys are going to what, Miami, to go see him in a little while. So, it just, it says a lot about the business and how oftentimes as a GC or subcontractor, et cetera, there is a lot of responsibility put on that personal connection. And that also flows into this relationship as well.
Yep. And I'll go just a little bit further on that. The just to kind of push a little bit more on the relationship aspect. So the 120-day things, I know y'all both answered it, but communication's key. So if it's going to go past 120 days, we've been having those conversations, and ideally we're talking on a regular basis anyways, and we'll be more aware and of the fact that it's going past that 120 days, and we'll work with you past that. And as long as you're properly communicating and you're sharing things with us every step of the way, we're going to continue working with you every step of the way. And that's it truly is a partnership. It truly is a relationship-based business. So.
And we're not naive. We know that in addition to materials, you probably have the GC owing you for labor and other things, and you would be amazed. In a partnership with us, we're trying to get you paid for everything. We want to protect all your money, not just, we're not the selfish partner that just sits on the side. It's like, oh, now we got ours, we're out the door. We're going to be there to push a little bit if we have to help you. You know, if notices become necessary, we're going to communicate with you, and we're going to have the best plan going forward that's going to benefit you, the customer. So hope I didn't belabor that point, but I wanted to really drive that home.
Yeah,
it's an important point. Yeah.
And speaking of some of our amazing partners, Vivian Bell is one of our dearest, I'm going to go ahead and say, friends. Absolutely love Vivian. And she was the first one to tell us, we're so excited that you have the portal now, and, we can log in and we can do everything in one place, and I can see all of my projects. And, she was so vocal. She is so vocal in telling us things that we're doing well and telling us ways that we can get better, because we are not perfect, and we value not only the communication, but the feedback. And the one thing that I want to point out here is just that, like, this means, like, if your materials cost a lot, this is a great option for you. And this is a great route. She, again, Mesh is a fabrication and millwork company. It looks like we have another question coming into the Q&A. Mark Smith said, what is the interest rate?
So
go ahead. I'm gonna let you handle it.
You got it, Alan. Yep. Okay.
Because not everything's one size fits all. We cater that to the customer and the way the project looks and the way that the customer looks. And Rane, I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, and with the relationship that you all have with Procore and the relationship between Procore and USMCA, we will be doing preferred pricing as well. So there will be more favorable pricing on these projects that we work on for you all. Standard pricing for somebody coming in off the street is going to be some sort of an origination fee of 1% to 2%, and then they're going to be paying a monthly finance charge as well. That would be probably around 3%, but you'll get preferred pricing. This will be less for you as well. But I just wanted to make sure that was stressed, that in partnership with you all, we want to invest in you, and we want to really build this relationship and make this something special. So we will definitely be offering preferred pricing, and you'll get the better options from us for sure.
That's
hey, Kara, right. Another thing I wanted to say about Mesh. I also spoke with the president of Mesh, Gary Grooms. He said recently in a conversation, he goes, this has put us in a situation we've never been in before, where they're only, because of the volume that they're able to do with us now, they've only been able to accept 5% of the 95% of the work that they've been offered. So they are so overwhelmed by business right now, they're able to pick and choose and take the top 5% contracts that are being offered to them. So they're getting ready to expand on a huge scale based on what we've been able to work with them as a partner. So just in addition to what Vivian said, the owner of the company feels exactly the same way.
Yeah, and it's awesome to work with Mesh as well, because like kind of to further upon that, like they're a perfect example of somebody who doesn't use us for every project. They use us for the ones that make sense for their business and that they need us for. And we work with them on those projects, and when they need us to come in and help, that's when we come in and help. And we're constantly communicating, and it's been truly an amazing relationship to build upon. And everybody over there is amazing, and we've loved working with them. I'll also say, I probably should have said this as well. I did talk about the origination fee, but in terms of the preferred pricing, we will be waiving the origination fees for the USMCA members. So you wouldn't have any upfront pricing to worry about. So I should have thrown that in whenever I was talking pricing.
You snuck it in there. That's fantastic. And I think, all of this also was made possible because USMCA as an organization and Rev and Bullock believes in this product and wants the service and wants everyone and that is a part of this association to thrive and grow their business and take control and finish their jobs and be an absolute support to you all. And so I'm going to get emotional just thinking about it, but thank you to USMCA for having us here and allowing us to do this.
Right.
We're not even done with the presentation, but I'm just bubbling over with gratitude because this is such a great opportunity. We did have, go ahead, Rane.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wanted to push on that a little bit too. Thank you for having us, Reverend Bullock. We're so excited to be here and so excited to do anything we can to help and just be another resource for you and for all your members. And we want to continue to build those partnerships. I was also going to bring up the Q&A that was in there from Mark Smith. Can a contractor get financing when working directly for a homeowner? It does get a little bit more tricky for us. It's not one of those things we say outright no to at all. We definitely want to be able to take on your projects and work on those. It does get more tricky when it's just a direct to homeowner situation. The payment chain is shortened, and a lot of times lien rights can be a little bit more in question, and we base a lot of our underwriting upon the lien rights as well. Alan, you may be able to kind of answer a little bit further at that point.
Yeah, another great part about us having a partnership is we'll have a conversation. You're gonna, when you bring something to your salesperson, you bring something to us, you do it online, we're going to take a look at it and we're going to have a conversation with you because we want, as being a partner, we're going to tell you what we think is safe and what we think may not be quite as safe. So definitely we do those type of deals. We will do those type of projects, but there are layers to a situation when a homeowner that may stay in a property for 30 years, obviously a lien on a property where somebody's not going to, not going to want to move anytime soon. None of us here want to be in the process of putting somebody out of their home. So we want to be very careful, and we don't take it lightly when we do those type of projects. So I'm not saying we don't do those. I'm just saying there'll be a conversation to qualify it so that we make sure we're all doing what's best for that homeowner.
Yeah, and I love, I love how you expanded upon that, Alan. I see Reverend Bullock came in with another question for us. Thank you for that, and I'm glad you brought that up. So, does the rate or does the charges change depend on your credit? If you've noticed, we haven't really talked about credit, and that's on purpose because we don't really pay too much attention to it. If we do check credit, it's genuinely just a soft pull. If it ever needs to go past that for whatever reason, whether the project is a riskier project, or maybe the GC doesn't have as much data, or something like that comes up, we may need to dig a little deeper. But Alan, how many times do you think we've actually pulled credit this year?
Pulled personal credit on an owner maybe 7 times in the entire year.
Yeah.
Because that's not the way we do things, from a level that it spreads the risk out over a larger landscape, and it allows us to do things based on the merit of the project and the merit of the actual company. And we do have people that, hey, I just started this business 3 months ago, can you help us? We have helped those companies. We have conversations with you. It's like, well, tell us a little bit of your background. Is this something that you opened this company? What did you do before this? If you were a piano tuner before this and you decided you wanted to wake up and put roofs on, hey, doesn't mean I'm going to say no. I just want to know, why did you decide to start putting roofs on after you're a piano tuner? Okay, that wasn't funny at all, but I try to throw a little humor into this.
It was a good one. I liked it.
But no, that's it's rare that we go deep. And now there have been times where the owner wants us to say, hey, listen, it's the new company. I want you to check on me and put this on my credit more than anybody else's. That's fine. We'll have that conversation, but we're going to cater this to you.
Yeah, and so much of what we do is project specific and dependent. We're very focused on the actual project. We're not as focused on the personal credit history or the business credit history. Yes, we do take a 3,000-foot view of what that looks like, just so we know what's been going on and making sure that, you know, there's not any like screaming red flags as we're going into the process. But that's really the extent of it. We're not deep diving there. We're not you know, going to go through like kind of the example earlier. We're not going through your books. We're not doing any of that stuff. I probably should have said this on the last slide, and I'm glad I'm coming back to it now. But when you do apply for a project, it is simply sending us the contract, the signed contract between you and your customer, and then the invoice or purchase order from your supplier. And that's it. That's all we need. We don't need anything else. We're not asking for your tax returns. We're not looking at your profit and loss statement. We're not checking your balance sheet and diving deep into that. There may be times where we have to dig a little deeper, but we'll communicate that in advance. But on, I would say 98% of projects, 98 out of 100 projects are not going to get asked that. And those could just be based on project size, or just maybe the project, the GC that's involved may be a little riskier. And so we just want to make sure that things are buttoned up the way that they need to be. So
Yeah, I think Rane, I've only asked you to help me get financials on maybe 5 total customers.
Yep, 5 this
So,
whole time.
and,
Yep.
and that was mainly because it was up to $1 million, and you know, it's $1 million. So, you know, it's what we have to
A
do.
lot of dollars.
Yeah.
So there's one more. Oh, we have a couple questions. This is
Great.
great. So I do, just because we are here at 1:36, we want to respect everyone's time. Our hard stop is going to be at 1:45. I think these questions are fantastic. I want to make sure that we get them answered. For anyone that has to jump because it's a little after 1:30, we totally understand. Again, this recording will be sent out in a day or so. But for anyone that can still hang with us, please do, please still hang. And I would just want to share this one more quote, and then we will dive fully into questions and get everyone's questions answered. This is our wonderful Alberto Polanco, who's going to be with us today. And what I want to point out here is, you know, now I send the invoice and Levelset processes the payment with 2 to 3 days, and we can get delivery for those materials. It is truly that simple. I promise. It is not convoluted. It is not, you know, this big thing with all these hidden fees. It's very transparent. And the one thing that I was really hoping for Alberto to be here to answer is the impact that it's made on not just him, but his team and everyone that works in his building, and the things that he's been able to do for them. That is an extension of his family. I think Rane and Alan, I want to say like his son works there. Like it's a family business. And the fact that that is something that gives him so much pride, I know is something we can all resonate with, that taking care of the people that are there to support you is one of the greatest gifts that something like this can offer. So I will also say, we have a wonderful overview of Alberto, his business, and how we've helped them grow that will be coming out in about a week or so. So I'm really excited that we'll still be able to share that. You'll still be able to hear their story, and hopefully we can have many more of those. So I'm going to stop talking now. The next slide I have here is questions. And so I do think that we have a couple. Do you guys mind if I read them off to you?
Go for
Not
it.
at all.
Excellent. So the first question, Ernest says, does the rate decrease based upon volume? Some of our suppliers give a discount based upon paying earlier, i.e. 1% discount if paid in 10 days. How quick do you pay? And if it is within the 10-day period, do I receive the discount or does Levelset? What an amazing question. Ernest, we love you. This is fantastic. Take it away, gentlemen.
Yeah. So does the financing charges decrease based upon volume? So it is project to project specific. So it's really based on the stability of that project, of what the financing fees are going to be. Obviously, if it is a larger project and it's your volume is, you know, $400,000 worth of materials, we're going to do everything we can. And that's the relationship aspect that comes a part of this, to make sure that we're being fair to you, and it's not putting you in a spot that is, difficult or hard to maintain. And so we would work on that together, and we'd make sure that whatever is getting sent over to you from a financing fee perspective is going to be to work with you and make sure that that's going forward from that direction. But it's hard to say specific to volume, but I would say specific to project. If it's a super stable project, it gives us a lot more flexibility.
And I guarantee you, I guarantee you, if we're putting $400,000 out the door, those larger projects, and we qualified that project, you're gonna get preferred pricing, because obviously we already know that the risk is going to be. We already know what the risk is going to be on that. So absolutely.
Yep. And Ernest, correct us if we're wrong. I think he may be asking if the supplier is giving him the discount, like he gets that discount, right? Like that's not something that we're going to say, nope, you have to pay regular pricing. Like that's one of the benefits of this is we want your supplier to give you discounts. We want you to pay as the least amount possible for these materials. And that is why we're here. And then he also asked, how quick do we pay? And the answer is
day one.
We can get it done day one. Yeah.
That's right.
And that's, so any discounts we're able to get from the suppliers, we're always passing those on to you. So if you send us an invoice for $100,000, but because we're paying day one, or because of the relationship that we're able to build with that supplier in the payment process, we're able to secure the same materials for $95,000 instead of the $100,000, you're going to be paying $95,000. We're giving you that $5,000 discount. We're passing that on to you. That's not we're not interested in that. We're focused on your business, and we want to see you succeed, and anything we can do to help that. And if it's as simple as getting a discount from the supplier, that's what we want to pass on to you, because we're invested in you in your business.
You can even get multiple discounts. I mean, literally, we've seen the situation, you do business with Procore, you get a special discount at Lowe's. Then on top of that, you might get a discount because you're paying first day. I mean, you can layer upon layer discounts that we're not going to take from you. That's for you to leverage. And you know what? If I were you, don't tell your hiring party or anything else. Use this like you're going to buy a car for cash. I mean, you want to get in there and negotiate the best deal for you.
Excellent. I think we have the most perfect final question here. Rose says, let's say, hypothetically, we want to pilot this opportunity on our first large project. How do we start? Is there a cap on the project contract price for materials? And does this apply to material vendors and equipment vendors? So let's start with, how do we start?
Alan, you may be best for these questions to start, and then I can add some additional context.
As far as getting started, everything that Rane said before is exactly where it goes. Large project, there is no cap. We're not coming in and saying, now, if you come to us and need $1.2 million worth of materials, it may take a few days longer for us to get our due diligence done and get that done, but it's not going to take that much longer. When it comes to equipment, we don't do rentals. It would be anything that equipment's going to be hard, because what we're only doing is the materials that are going to stay at that specific project site and never leave. So that's why at this point, we may down the road offer more by way of equipment as lien laws are starting to change in all the states. But at this time, it's mainly materials. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing this project on. So it's material financing only. So I hope that answers that question. As far as getting started, it's very simple. And Rane will allude to this again. We just need a signed contract with your hiring party. We need a valid invoice or quote. Sometimes it's a quote that has to be converted. And once we have that, along with your basic information, and Rane will tell you how to do that online, or a salesperson can talk to you, that's as simple as it is. And then we're off to the races to getting you underwritten.
Yeah, and you said it perfectly. That link that's going to be coming out after the webinar, that'll take you directly to the apply now feature, and that'll filter over to myself and to my team, and we'll be able to reach out to you. And honestly, if you want to reach out to me directly and just go ahead and start talking about this, do it. I love it. I would love to just start talking to you, and we could bypass the whole clicking only apply now. Call me up or email me, and let's go ahead and start working. But once we're having that conversation, it's just the contract between you and your customer and the invoice and the materials that you're needing. And yeah, I'll just go ahead and kind of put it out there again. There's not a cap on a project contract price or anything like that. We want you to have those big contracts. So go out and find them, and then come to us for the materials, and we'll be there to help. So
we always encourage you to do your due diligence on your side for a project. If it seems too good to be true, the profit margins seem too good to be true, they probably are. So we always want to go into this like we want to be your partner, and there's going to be some times where we tell you, hey, you got to tell them that the baby's ugly sometimes, and that happens from time to time. So so we know how important those projects are, and we want to say yes. We're going to do everything we can to say yes. And this is exciting. I'm really happy with all the people that are asking questions, because that makes you a great customer of ours. That means we want you.
That's
yeah,
right.
I'll double down on that. I love all these questions. This is what I find the true value of doing these webinars. We get a chance to actually talk to you and to address things that you're thinking about, and I love it. I love being here to answer your questions, and that's why I reach out to me. I'm always available to answer any questions that come, and I'm happy to do it. I want to make myself available to you as much as you want, or maybe as little as you want. I don't know. Either way, whichever way you feel about it.
The three of us are so shy. It's hard to get Kara. It's hard to get Kara, Rane, and I to talk.
Oh my mercy! Once we get going, well, again, here we are right at time. Thank you all so much for being a part of this. We're so grateful to be here. It is an absolute joy, a pleasure, and truly one of the most wonderful things I think we've done as a team since this started. And thank you so much to USMCA, to Reverend Bullock, to Ashley, to everybody that made it possible for us to be here. We're so grateful. Thank you all again.